Hey people. Okay. Randomly hopping on at whatever time it is, just after 10 o'clock. So I've been inspired to come on after a couple of friends of mine from the Dismembering Tarot group. Oh, just clearing the decks here. I've done a reading on 2026, what is happening energetically. So I thought I'd come on here and I don't know, I'm just going to see what the cards want to say, really. Just realised I didn't update the titles. I don't know if I can do that on the fly. Bear with me. Can I do that on the fly? General reading for today, 1st of December. 1st of December. Where the frick did that go? December 2025. What's going on? Let's get rid of that. Even with my glasses on, I can't see properly. Right, update all. Yes, it's done it. So you can do it on the fly. I like that. That's very cool. Okay. So, let's see. Excuse me. No wonder I can't see. Oh my god. Ugh. What is that on my glasses? I don't know. There we go, that's better. I actually see now. Right. So I'm starting off with the massive guiding light oracle thingy doobry what's it thingies cards. That's the word I'm looking for. So I'm going to take a couple. Oh, that's not a couple. That's ridiculous. Stop being ridiculous. Oh yeah. I was so inspired I forgot to set my intention. So you can do this whenever you draw cards or do any divination work. My higher self, pardon me, is bigger and sees everything. Guides present, including Edge or Smurf, and guiding from this space to the next. I request from the cards clear, helpful, actionable information which enable my synchromistic illuminated path to unfold, even if I am in doubt, even if the cards are confusing. And so it is ad Astra. Now, I'm seeing, so I have lots of post-its on my laptop, like underneath the keyboard, yeah. Just draw my attention to not drowning in the ocean of rhetoric. So whatever the chaos out there is trying to push, make sure you don't drown in it. Okay? Right. Right, that's ridiculous. So I'm going to cut the deck. I'm going to cut it. Ooh. Ooh, do you hear that? It's very windy outside today. Oh, wow, we had this one the other day. Wow. Okay. And then I'm going to take... So I did this the other day. I pulled 2 of the same cards and a dragon, the Dragon Path Oracle. slightly different dragon cards, with the intention of doing a reading, but then I had to print off our books. Whoops, there we go. I had to print off 15 copies of a children's book that Ian's written, and then Christmas cards. So I didn't get round to doing the reading, but I'm doing it now. Clearly, I was meant to do it now and not the other day. So it was the same decks, but obviously I've redrawn. That's what I'm looking for. Redrawn the cards. What's going on with my glasses? I don't feel right on my nose today. So we'll have a look at those in a minute. Let's just get a Dragon Oracle and see. I've got an itchy nose. What does itchy nose mean? Spirit, actually. That's what that means. If you get an itchy nose while you're doing divination, that's an indicator of spirit. Just so you know. Come on, I just need one dragon card, please. One dragon card would be nice. Which one? That one. Okay. I said these words only today. And protect us. Oh. Okay, let's have a look. So, we have, from the Guiding Light Oracle, we have freedom of soul expression. You may be holding back from expressing yourself out of fear of losing or upsetting someone around you. Because let's face it, guys, sometimes when you are fully embodying who you truly are, and you're going about your business, and I think there's an authentic expression of peace and gentleness and what's the word? There's just there's a real inner peace when that happens. Some people take great offense to that, and the reason that they take great offense to you just being is because they can't, or they don't want to, or they don't know how to be like that. So they poke. Yeah. Be under no illusion about that. It happens a lot. Okay. So what's really amazing, when I'm looking at this card, I see a figure. We have leg, we have a body, we have a head, and there's an aura around the head, but they're carrying something very heavy. That's what it looks like to me. So put it down. You don't need to carry other people's baggage. I was going to say something. I was going to put it a different way, but let's be nice, shall we? You don't need to carry other people's baggage. It's theirs and theirs alone. Give it back to them. It's not yours. Yeah. If someone is poking, trying to provoke because of their own baggage, drop it. Literally drop it on the floor and let them pick it up, because it's not yours. Yeah. So this fear of upsetting someone because you no longer want to carry their baggage. That's not yours either. Okay. And this card here, perfectionist, that's not perfectionist in the idea of perfection in this realm, yeah, which is very distorted and a little bit unhinged, I would say. It's kind of crazy. What people do to themselves, what people do to their, their homes, their environment, and even in nature, yeah? What people do in the name of perfection in just those 3 areas is disturbing. For me, personally, that's disturbing. Because there is no such thing as perfect. There is no such thing as perfect. There might be divine perfection, but that's not about being perfect. I hope that makes sense. How I see that, so this, for me, is like a diamond. But it's not polished. It's not been cut. It's not been mechanically shaped. It is who you are. The light being, if you like, the being of the void, the expression, the pushing out of pure love consciousness into this realm. I hope that makes sense. But it's not manufactured. Yeah, it's not been bullied into being a certain way. Yeah, this is about keep your standards high and honorable, but let go of the need to be perfect, because you don't need to be perfect. You already are perfection. It's like the idea of the word, I think I said this, and I don't know, I say a lot of things. The idea of spiritual, of being spiritual, is a bit of a curveball. You don't need to be spiritual. Spiritual? You don't need to be spiritual either. You don't need to be spiritual because you are spirit. Yeah? Okay. Lecture over. Okay. So, I think those 2 cards gotta say a lot, really, don't they? So we have Hearn. So that's number 33. Let's have a look. So, because there are different in this particular deck. In this particular deck, is that the last card? It is. 33, magic number. I like that. So, because there are different dragons in this deck. Let me just go back to there. This is a guardian dragon energy. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So yeah, this is an earth dragon. So I'm reading from the book. So this card is phenomenal. Yeah, and clearly it is the embodiment, or the dragon, the draconic embodiment of Hearn. The earth dragon Hearn is connected to nature and everything within the natural world: the rocks, the earth, the trees, the plants, the animals, and the birds. He advises us that we would do well to remember that we too are part of the seasons, because we are nature. We are nature. Don't forget that. He reminds us that everything is cyclical and draws our attention to how out of sync we are now with the Earth's natural rhythm. Which is, oh my God. Yeah, okay. The idea of perfection. Okay, makes sense. We couldn't imagine life without our smartphones, being connected to the internet, social media, and 24/7 TV. But all of these things act as distractions which stop us from delving into ourselves, finding our own internal patterns, reconnecting with ourselves, and in turn with the natural rhythm of our planet, freedom of soul expression, and the idea that you are already divine perfection. Okay. What else? Hearn emphasises that nothing lasts forever. Things such as human love and life wax and wane like the moon. They are forever changing. The impermanence of everything. Yeah, everything is impermanent because everything goes in a cycle or a spiral. Yeah. So I really like that. I like that a lot. So, if you wonder why I'm scratching my head, I don't have nits, by the way. I no longer have children, young children, to contend with and knits. I have a very dry scalp and it's very itchy at the moment. Right, so where are we going? Where would you like to take me? Gateway of Light activation. Okay, let's see. Let's see what they have to say. 2 or 4 cards. 2 or 4 cards. Okay, there's one. Oh, okay, that's going under there then. Ooh, this is exciting. I like this. I like this a lot. So 2 more cards then. 2 more cards, please. Thank you. Whoa, okay, there we go. Oh, wow. There. One there. Move that crystal out of the way. I'm going to put you there. One more card. Do not worry again. Oh my. So this is an interesting one. So earlier on, when I was listening to my 2 friends from the Dismembering Tarot group, have a guess who they were talking about? Frothy pants. I like that. Okay, so let's have a look at these. So under the hand card, we've pulled the Earth Star activation. The Earth Star chakra is just below your feet. It's a reddish brownish colour, and it's a super grounding. So I would actually say when you're connecting with the middle of Mother Earth, that very it's a magnetic quality to it. Yeah, it's actually going through. So if you, when you are grounding, if you open a conduit as wide as your hips, it goes all the way down to the center of the earth. Yeah, you're actually going through the Earth Star chakra. Yeah. So super grounding, which is interesting because Hern, we have Hern there, which is all about the reconnection to nature, which brings about these two here. Yeah. Because when you have a profound connection to nature, she holds a space. She holds you in that space of being able to express yourself, but also, when you look at nature, she's very perfect in her imperfections. Yeah. So when you look at a flower, it has quirks. When you look at how a tree grows, it's quirky. Yeah. It's not homogenized in any way, shape, or form. And when people do try and homogenize nature, she usually goes, do you know what? Frell you. It does her own thing. So I like that these two cards have come out as the foundation for this here. Yeah. Then we have, sorry, I'll show you that card. Sorry. Earth Star Activation. Doo, doo, doo. Love that. Don't need to read from the book. I think it's quite self-explanatory. Solar light upgrade, solar plexus chakra, inner fire, willpower. So your divine will be done. Yeah, which is here. That freedom of soul expression. Yeah, comes through from your divine will. And then we have Thoth light codes. So Thoth is the scribe. He is also a teacher. Associated with, amongst other things, science. So science as in true science, not the we are following the science, or the diluted form of science that we have now. Great teacher, awakening, divine magic. So his magic is in the writing. Yeah. Which I find quite interesting. Let's see what more we can find out about these two cards. So solar light upgrades cards. Okay, I think it's that one. Okay. 4 of Wands. Interesting. More fire. Foundation of your will. Yeah. Which is what we're talking about here with this freedom of soul expression. Your foundation is your will. Yeah. Your divine will be done. Okay, and what about the Thoth light codes? Let's have a look. Bear with me a second. Chat's not working on here. Don't know why. Let's just get rid of that a minute. And then chat. Connect. Oh, we have connection. Cool. Sorry about that. There we go. 8 of Wands. or fire. More fire. So Thoth is connected with the air elemental, not necessarily the fire elemental. However, this Wands card, this Eight of Wands, is more about the time just before you make a decision. So it's linked to this Four of Wands and the solar light upgrades, definitely. Because you have light initiation. So this is the moment just before, I would say. The moment just before this awakening takes place. This awakening of allowing yourself the freedom to allow your soul to step forward, or the part of you that's bigger and sees everything, yeah? Your divine perfection to step forward and fully I don't know, there's a it's that word, isn't it? Permission. You've never given yourself permission before, and now you are. So this is the wisdom of Avalon, the water fairy. So how do you feel about this? How do you feel about what I've just said? Hmm. Oh, flip the card there. Ooh. So did what I say cause some disruption? Does this idea cause some disruption in your perception? Okay. If it does, let's see what the cards say. Okay. We have three. We have the King of Swords, Five of Swords, and the High Priestess. King of Swords. I would say in this particular frame, this is, you need to master your mind. because it'll be the voice, the control mechanism, which is the little voice in the head that's telling you, well, you can't be saying that because it's completely against everything that I've ever known. Well, maybe it's time to flip that. Maybe it's time, yeah? If it's not worked for you, then maybe it's time to flip it, yeah? 5 of Swords. Mm. I don't like this card, but it doesn't feel like a nice card to me. Have a look. Yeah, I know I just showed it to you, but have another look. Yeah. He's got a butterfly in a jar, and he has the things ready to mount that butterfly. So with this disruption energy, I would suggest, if there isn't some mastery of the mind going on. So all that really is, yeah, is, getting to know yourself, know thyself, yeah. Which really is essentially dropping all those things, like I was saying up here, that don't belong to you. If it's not yours, why are you carrying it? Yeah. And the more you drop those things that don't belong to you, the more you actually become self-realized, if you like, for want of a better word. And then you step into this place, the High Priestess, a place of balance, a place of wisdom, a place of intuition. It's going all the way back up here. Yeah. It's going back to divine will. It's going back to the energy of awakening. It's going back to this idea, or this, it's not an idea, this experience of being connected, very much connected to what this planet actually is. Yeah, not the overlay that's over the top of it. And she's wearing a key here, and there's a doorway here. Now, the doorway looks open. It's a portal, you could say. So she's already unlocked the door. So I would say there is a convergence of mind mastery, for want of a better word, and intuition guided by part of you that's bigger and sees everything, which is pure love consciousness, by the way. But what might be stopping that is this 5 of Swords. Now, I'm going to go to the book because it's very specific with the artwork in these cards, which I find quite interesting. Yeah, here we go, look. A young man is playing God with a defenseless trapped butterfly. He lords a pin over the powerless insect, knowing he could pierce it in a moment. He taunts it with his haughty air and domineering attitude, a sense of superiority is easily distinguished in his features. His smirk and nonchalant posture. We don't know exactly what his choice will be, however, it is clear he is not to be trusted. So, yeah, remove yourself from this situation of the mind, yeah, because swords is the mind. King of Swords here is telling you about, the mastery of the mind. The mind is a powerful thing. When you combine it with this right here, when the mind, so-called mind, is informed by the heart, it's a very different animal, yeah. Because it's very powerful. We know it's powerful. How do we know it's powerful? Because every day we are informed by this little squeaky thing, which has been programmed into the mind. It's like a USB stick, if you like. It's a little bit graphic, but there you go. You know what I mean. That is running a program all the time in the mind. And the mind, how much of what you do every day is from your heart? How much of it is from that programmed mind with the USB stick sticking out your head? That's a question. So yeah, if what I was saying in this reading has caused some kind of disruption, how did you feel about it with the water fairy? Yeah, then maybe a little bit of lassoing the mind, as I call it, bringing it to the heart, for the heart to inform the mind, will bring you through this energy here, which is, like, let's get away from this energy of, can that programmedness be trusted? The thing that's making you think that you're not divine perfection, yeah, the thing that's making you think that your will is just, well, there's nothing, yeah, the programmedness that is telling you that you can never awaken, the programmedness that is telling you, well, it's just nature, all those things that we are conditioned to believe, yeah, can they be trusted? Yeah. And what you eventually do is you bring these two to either side of this one. So when this one goes, you bring these two together. And you cancel out that feeling of disruption, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So, let's take one more card, or maybe two, possibly two. This is a really beautiful, what's this deck? This is the Spirit of the Animals Oracle. And they're big cards, beautiful cards. So let's have two, please, to finish off this reading, because we've been here for nearly 40 minutes now. It flies when you're having fun. Okay. Ooh, you. Ooh. Okay. Pronghorn and action. Oh my goodness. It says, now is the time to act. Divine will. Opportunities are here. Move forward with confidence. Divine will again. Yeah. Your talents will always help you land on the pinnacle. Your quick wit and keen senses will lead you to success. Mm. And this is a success right here. Bringing the mind and the intuition together. Yeah. Letting the intuition, the heart, inform the mind. We have Black Jaguar. Old soul. Walk through life with confidence and grace. And I would also say that's in these cards. It's also in this card of soul expression. Yeah. And also in realizing that there is no such thing as, perfection. Not in the sense in this realm. Yeah. That's very different to putting your heart and soul into something. It's very different. Because the idea of what is the perfect fill in the blank, is nothing to do with the part of you that's bigger and sees everything informing how you create something. That's external pressures telling you what you should be doing, thinking, looking like, who your friends are, all that stuff. So drop it. You have power from beyond the world. That's old Thothy Pants right there. Focus on what you really want. You can create your dream. So here we go. Right there. Right here. Yeah. Action. Let's bring the mind and the intuition to inform each other. Yeah. Rather than this energy here. Yeah. It's very different. Okay. I'm going to put that over that card right there. Bada boom. Okay. I'm going to leave that here. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I like it. I'll see you next time. So until the next one, I'm going to say cheerio and see you later.